What is the best way for parents to dress their child's mind for success? A former rocket scientist and mother of 14, Shauna Godfrey has spent the last 2 decades authoring an engaging children's phonics method. Understanding the importance of educating parents and professionals on the correct way and reasons to teach phonics early on, Shauna developed her own unique method of phonics instruction to help launch children into a life of success in school and beyond. The Godfrey Method.
I always taught my children to read before kindergarten until I came across one son who just couldn't get it. Using all the same methods that I used for his older brothers and sisters, he couldn't understand why a squiggly line made a sound. No matter how many times we went over it, he couldn't get why which squiggly line made which sound. And so I had to come up with a way to make it make sense for him. And that's how I developed my unique picture letters. Each letter looks like something that starts with its sound. Once my son got that, he took off in reading. He was only 4, and he was able to read before kindergarten. Shortly after that, everyone who saw my method wanted to use it, and it started having phenomenal success with everyone at preschools, neighbors, friends, sisters, relatives. To truly read and to be able to decode new words, you have to know the sounds of each letter, not just the word as a whole. And so reading by phonics is a very important process to set a child's mind correctly for reading for life.
The task of preparing today's children for the jobs of tomorrow must begin at home. Many educators stress the importance of giving kids a proper educational foundation before they head off to school. Teaching a child simple and effective reading techniques is paramount because in many instances, traditional methods don't necessarily work for all children.
A lot of teachers start with sight words in kindergarten. This is not a good thing to do. If your baby can sight read now, he will have problems reading as an adult. It's very important that children learn to decode words by phonics and not just memorize the shape of the word.
Believing that children should learn to read early and to read right, Shauna Godfrey created the Godfrey Method. This innovative technique of phonics instruction is brought to life in the bestseller, A Pretty Girl Was Alphabet, featuring unique picture letters and the proper way to teach them to your child.
The best way for young children to be able to understand the connection between letters and sounds is with the Godfrey Method's unique picture letters. It helps their mind link the letters to something that they recognize that's real to them. It makes it real to them. And for instance, the lowercase h looks like the profile of a horse. And once children see that, every time they see a lowercase h, they remember the horse and they remember it starts with h. And it makes a connection in their minds that nothing else does. The method itself is very important, and so there are easy guidelines for parents on how to teach the picture letters properly for the best success for their children. Then going along with the picture letters and the guidelines is a fun story that wraps them all together to keep children's attention, and they have enchanting, colorful pictures and illustrations in the story. The Godfrey Method can start younger because of the way it makes connections in the child's mind.
Good job. What's this one? Horsey.
Horsey. The way the Godfrey Method works is that you start with toddlers with just using the picture letter phonics cards, and then you progress from there to small 3-letter words they can sound out until eventually they're a preteen teenager and they're reading Jane Eyre. This helps the child feel successful, feel good about themselves, they've accomplished something, their self-esteem goes up, and it gives them a confidence like nothing else. So being able to start early is very key. It's also a great remedial program for children that have missed something, have fallen through the gaps. Older children up to at least 3rd grade benefit greatly by the Godfrey Method to fill in those gaps and to give them the connections in their mind that they're missing.
My oldest child in 1st grade was having trouble remembering all the sight words. She was stumbling. I heard about the Godfrey Method, so I started working with her just a couple minutes every day, and very quickly she picked up how to remember the sounds, and then we put them together and she started decoding words. And she's 12 years old now, and she reads far above her grade level. In fact, we can't get her to put the books down when it's time to do chores because she loves to read. I love when it's time to work on our reading skills and to use the Godfrey Method because we can curl up on the couch and bond. You know, there's nothing better than curling up on the couch with a child and reading, and to watch them get excited about the story as it unfolds.
A pretty girl was Alpha Betty, with her long hair and a bow, of course.
By holding the child's interest, the Godfrey Method helps improve the basics of eye-mind word recognition and comprehension coordination. Its universal application is designed to help every child across the spectrum, so slow learners are brought up to speed, while regular and gifted learners truly excel. It also gives children the two most important things they need: parent time and reading skills.
My daughter just took off with it. She has been reading since well before kindergarten. She is so smart. She can read anything I hand her pretty much, and if she gets stuck on a word, she sounds it out, which is what we teach. My 5-year-old has some speech problems, and his problem comes from not being able to differentiate the sounds in a word when someone's talking. But using the phonics method, he sees each letter linked to a specific sound. And so when he is actually sounding out words, he does it one sound at a time, and we've seen improvements in his speech because of that, because he's realized that words are made up of individual sounds. And it's really neat to watch that happen.
The kind of feedback I receive from parents is that their kids love the picture letters. I also get feedback from teachers. I've given away my books to several teachers in my area. Many of them send me notes back saying they love the method and they're going to use it at home with their own children or grandchildren too. One preschool teacher told me that she has been teaching for 17 years, and the first year she used my method, the children learned faster than ever before.
I've used the Godfrey Method with all 4 of my kids from early on, and I just love the process. I love that we can sit down and have a little time together. You know, I get to just focus on that child for a while. I love, seeing them come alive and they get animated and they see the pictures and it means something, and that means something to me, I have a really solid way to teach my kids to read, and with my older boys we line the cards up to make words and they sound them out and they realize these connections, and it is so neat as a mom to see that happen, and I love the Godfrey Method. I would recommend it to anyone.
I loved the Godfrey Method, and it worked so well with my children. But I said to Shauna, this is a beautiful idea. Can I help you with your drawings? Let me draw them for you so that they can appeal to both right brain and left brain people. I enjoy seeing children come out of their shell and be able to read, especially children that have been frustrated before or thought that they couldn't read.
We have a second book written, it's at the publishers, and we have the third one written but not illustrated yet. We also are planning to develop a whole system, a system that will have CDs, DVDs, a tote bag with the logo, how-tos for parents, cardstock with all kinds of teaching ideas and aids, visual aids, and a way to just advance the system a little further and a little easier for parents. We've also started to move into Canada and Australia, and we plan to be going into every nation that has English as a first or second language. We feel it's very important to reach every child. Prevention is much more important than remediation. Parents are their child's first teacher and most important teacher. The only way we're going to turn around the decline in education is for parents to start with something at home. Also, by teaching phonics at home early, parents are giving the children the 2 most crucial things they need, which are quality parent time and reading skills. Reading is the foundation of everything else. Reading launches their success for school and life. Okay, good. Say it fast. Can. Oh, so smart.
Learn how you can stimulate your child's mind long before school starts with the Godfrey Method and this children's book, where alphabet, picture letters, and stories bring phonics and reading to life. For more information or to place your order, visit godfreymethod.com or call the number on your screen.